I'm going to introduce our next storyteller, Priya. So the day she asked herself this question, what is my purpose in life? Her journey began. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a businesswoman, and a cancer survivor. A fun fact about her, or it's a fun fact for me, she grew up in Zambia. I was born and raised in Zimbabwe, which is right next to Zambia. So it's a fun fact for me for sure. And I know there are some people in the audience who grew up there. So a little brag about Priya. She's a meditation coach, and she wants to help you learn to meditate and see how it can bring you closer to yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the stage, Priya.
Can you all hear me? Wow, that just scared myself. All right. Deep breath. Love is a feeling I can't explain. It tickles your heart and messes with your brain. This is a poem I read when I was young. Oh God, was I so dumb. Because love to me now is more than just a feeling. It is a great vibration that has brought me deep healing. Healing? How? Let me take you back to when I was 5. My parents decided to move from India to a country, Zambia, in Africa. With my 1-year-old sister, me, they carried with them Indian traditions of how they should raise Indian girls. 3 easy steps. Get her educated, find the suitable boy for her, and get her married. Very easy, isn't it? In India, we grow up watching Bollywood movies. Bollywood, which is like America's Hollywood. And there, typically, the fantasy stories are boy and girl fall in love, and they dance around. There's a lot of singing and dancing in our movies. And usually there's a bad guy, and typically it's the mom and dad, because they don't want the boy and the girl to get married. And then they have to fight to figure out how they're going to be together, but at the end of it, they do end up getting married. So watching all these movies, I thought my love life would be something like that, where I would find my tall, handsome prince, he will sweep me off my feet, and we'll end up getting married. Going through school and college, I had my fair share of love. From puppy love, where staring was the in thing, to holding hands, which gave me thrills and gave me the little chills in my heart, to heartbreak, which really did mess with my brain. Now, I was ready to go to college in London at the age of 22. And I was really excited because I was going to go away from my parents, be able to live my life, and maybe find the guy of my dreams. I was getting ready to leave, and a dear uncle of mine, who's a very close friend, family friend, came to me and asked me what I thought about this guy called Rohit. And I said, in what way? He said, to get married to. He has a good family. He's well settled in the US. He's making good money. I think you both would be the perfect match. Now, just like all of you over here, I was shocked too. Not because he was proposing an arranged marriage for me, but because Rohit and I grew up together, and we kind of knew each other's dirty secrets. He had dated a very close friend of mine back in the day, and I used to sneak her out to see him. And he used to bring my boyfriend at the time to meet me. There was no way this was going to work out. Moreover, this uncle had no clue that Rohit was the guy who stood by me in college when my college boyfriend broke my heart and I cried on his shoulder. There was no way Rohit and I were going to get married. This was just insane. The only thing that was going through my mind at that time was I need to call my best friend up and ask her if it's okay for me to even speak to Rohit, because I did not want to break the girls' code. So, needless to say, my parents were over the moon that they didn't have to go out and find a proposal, a boy for me. It came to our house. Because in our culture, when elders bring you a proposal, they really know and see something that you probably haven't. And they have the best interest for you. So my mom and Rohit's parents were so happy that their 20-year friendship was going to turn into a relationship. In our tradition, it's not just about the boy and the girl. The families have to get along. And if your families get along, then it's very, very possible that if you have a daughter and a son, you will get married. So my mom came up to me and said, "Oh, what do you think of this proposal? If she had it her way, she would get me married without even asking me." And I said, I obviously could not tell her that he had dated a very good friend of mine because we were not allowed to have boyfriends back in our day. So I thought of the next best excuse. He's not very tall, and I envisioned a tall boy, and I don't love him. How can I possibly marry him? To this, my mom responds, and I quote, "Then don't wear heels. You will be just his height. And love? What love? Love will come later. You think your dad and I got married and we were in love?" Very badly accented, but my mom might kill me for this. So the only thing that was on my mind that I had to call my best friend quickly and tell her the plan that was being plotted. So I get on the phone and call her, and to my surprise she said, "Hey, if he's your Mr. Right, then why not?" She had already found her Mr. Right and she was going to get married to him. So I went along with it, and before I moved to London, Rohit and I started talking on the phone. It had been a while we talked, and we decided that, you know what, I think it's time to meet up now. Because there's only so much you can get to know each other on the phone. Anxiety was high on my end, and our parents back home couldn't wait to get our wedding preparation started. So Rohit came to London from the US to meet me, and sadly, I said no. I was not ready to get married, and we parted ways. Now, do you believe in destiny? Because exactly a year later, I go back home. My parents were obviously really stressed that I said no to the best proposal ever that would have come home, and that who's going to marry me, a 24-year-old girl who's just finished her education? What will people say? Boy, was there drama in the house. A couple of months went by, and guess who's coming into town? Rohit! And he's still single. So my mom and his mom start plotting a plan on how to get us back together and rekindle that candle that we had started but turned off. It was quite the scene in our little town. A few days later, I get a phone call from Rohit, and he asked me if I would reconsider marrying him. I couldn't believe this. Was it really destiny? Did he really love me? Or was it just my good looks that he was going for? I like to believe in the latter. So Rohit came to Zambia, and he proposed to me on the bridge of the mighty Victoria Falls, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. And I just couldn't say no, because everything just led me to go there. And with the blessings of the elders and the universe, I thought that was the right thing to do. And it was the right time and the right place. Now, if you think this is the end of my story, you're wrong. Because it's not like Rohit and I were in love, or we had even dated enough to get to know each other. But there was just something that I had to trust and had to go with. And in our days, arranged marriages, as you heard, was a little more relaxed. We were able to make the decisions on our own. Back in the day, you didn't even have the choice to do that. Through our marriage life, Rohit and I have 2 kids, 2 girls now. And we really did love each other. We got along really well after we had our big fat Indian wedding in India, December 26, 2004, causing the tsunami. So I like to say, but that's a different story on its own. I always felt something was missing. I always felt like Rohit showered me with all this love that I really didn't deserve, but I just could not give it back to him. I went on a soul-searching journey to figure out what it is that was really stopping me from loving this amazing guy that came into my life. And I got that answer when I heard the dreaded words, "You have breast cancer." Whoa, what a way to bring a twist to this story, huh? Of course, I'm alive, as you can see. But for me, cancer showed me what it really meant to live. Along the way, I had forgotten about self-love. I forgot to love myself. And I was always looking for the love outside, not being able to give it out back to people who were giving it back to me. Self-love is very, very important. And if it means being selfish, then please be it. Because remember, in time of emergency, the air hostess always says, wear your oxygen mask first before you give it to somebody else. If we are not able to love ourselves, we would not be able to radiate it from within or be open to receiving it. And after I wore my oxygen mask, I was able to give Rohit the love that he truly showered me with. Now, if you think this is the end of my story, then you're wrong. Because this is just the beginning. There's a lot more. But I would like to leave you with this. Accept what is, let go of what isn't, and have faith in what is to come. And I would like to say thank you, and I am truly grateful to the universe for bringing Rohit to me, my best friend who said it was okay, and my dear uncle, who left me with the love of my life. He passed away 2 years ago, and every anniversary I used to call him and thank him for the love he brought to me. And this year, when I truly felt that love, I was not able to call him and tell him that. He was the hero to my story. And for me to find my Prince Charming. Thank you and namaste.